Owner operators, are you making money? Are you sure? How do you know? It's Tuesday. We're here. Truckee Talks Live. We're going to be right back to this stuff. We'll see you in just a second.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charlie from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena, I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
I still love when Greg says, get connected with the ES Advantage today. I don't know why, but I dig it. Look, Jeff is dancing. Yeah, it's a thing. What's up, Jeff?
Today, bro. Today.
Bro, look, so 10 minutes before the show started, I think Jeff was whistling for me. Rosie heard some sound in the background. I was literally asleep 10 minutes ago.
Can't tell, bro.
I was knocked the hell out. I went to go lay down because I got a migraine. I was trying to eat dinner at like 10 to 4, and I got a migraine. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go lay down, stretch out real quick, right? Figured 5-10 minutes, I'd be right. And if I didn't, I'd just take a shot, whatever. You know, I didn't want to do the shot, but whatever. Apparently, I was out, just out. Rose's like, hey, it's time to get up.
She's way too nice, man.
Dude, you have no idea the things that woman has gone through. Some days trying to wake me up especially in the past, like I was a violent waker upper. Oof, to the point you couldn't touch me. If you touched me, I'm not quite that way now, but I am a little jumpy. Anyhow, glad to see you, Jeff. Sorry, man. Usually we have a little more time to talk before the show and stuff like that. And
for those of you, dude, so today was Update Tuesday for Microsoft, right? Freaking second Tuesday. Reset all my settings on this one.
Nice.
So I'm like trying to get everything set back up before the show. And then I get in here, no Charlie. I'm like, well, shoot.
Right? You're like, oh no.
I'm like playing with stuff, trying to remember how to do things.
Oh, it's going to be that kind of show? Oh, wait, never mind.
Craig Hutchinson was number one, it looks like to me.
He was. He was absolutely number one. He is the dude right there. He's like, wow.
He gave himself a fake trophy. Ah,
yeah.
That's where we're at, Charlie.
We're only going to talk about number one today. You know why? Because it's just one of those. Look, he had, I'm going to tell you that it was literally just a couple of seconds within posting it. he almost beat me in, and I was like ready to pop right in. That was the thing. Okay, if you don't know, I have to create this in, this platform, right? And then I create it and it posts it here and on Facebook, and then it takes, a minute before I can actually get in the studio to see the chat and things like that. And like as soon as I was in the chat and I was like ready clicking, bam, Craig was in there. So that was cool. Craig, good job, buddy.
It's an
Chris
SR-71. It's an Aurora. It's Craig Hutchinson.
Right. Yes. So Craig was all over it today, man. He's like, man, I ain't messing around today. I'm gonna get it. I got it. And I'm like, yes, sir, you did. Chris Hamilton, though, I want to tell you that I saw your I got it. Anthony McGuire, Chris Hamilton, you two know what I'm talking about. No one else can understand what we're talking about right now. So I got it. Thank you guys. And look, Hamey, like, oh my God, Hamey, check this out. He was like, hey, what's up, guys? Before the show, even. Show's not even on. He's like, here you go, fellas. That's awesome. Thanks for doing what you do. Yeah, I dig it. He did ask a question earlier, and I'm going to throw it up. He asked quick question. What is the earliest we can apply for the medical on the ES Medical? Thanks, and I'll watch the answer on the replay. I actually let him know to reach out to Greg at eshealthplans.com. And I put up his information in the chat earlier so that he can go check that out. And I'll throw it on the screen. Healthcare consultant, contact Greg Helmick. That's the number that's on the website to get a hold of him. But that guy has like all the answers, like for real. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, the thing with healthcare stuff is, there's regulations, this, that, the other thing, and I don't even pretend to understand what the actual dates are. I know that there's things like if you have a change or something, like you move, you change jobs, stuff like that, you can get in at different times. But I don't know.
I don't even understand any of it, and it's because I'm kind of a child. I have never had to pay for healthcare in my adult life.
Yeah, I just have Donna take care of it. By the time she's done, she's about lost her mind.
Right. That's fair. I can see that. I've heard that from a lot of people, actually. So,
well, when you're dealing with the exchange, it's just like it is a nightmare. But right. Man, I'm trying not to talk political, but I'm going to for a second. This exchange thing, dude, it's a nightmare.
Right.
But with all of the tax deductions and stuff we take, a lot of us over the road owner operators qualify for the exchange in our state. And it is less expensive than going out even to Greg to get health insurance. And he'll tell you that if you qualify for the exchange, he'll send you over there.
Right.
Because it is less expensive.
Airborne. Just throwing it out there.
I miss the days when it was like $250 a month for my entire family, and my deductible was like $10. I miss those days.
Look, I can't even say that because I honestly don't even know what that would be like.
Well, you've had
it's crazy.
You've had the VA.
Yeah, it's not great. Don't get me wrong, but I've never had to pay for insurance because of it. So whatever.
Right.
Dennis Lewis, good to see you. That's actually funny. She should have gotten the middle trash can and banged it to wake you up. Right? Yeah, that'll get a shoe thrown at her. I'm just saying. These days, I might throw something.
Oh, man. You throw a shoe at that woman and the flip-flop is coming off. I'm telling you.
La chancla is coming back at me. Right. Yeah. Boomerang. Oh, Mike Henderson, good to see you. Lisa. Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there because that's just funny right there. I don't even know what it's about, but yes. Okay.
Yep.
That you throw out a statement like that, and I'm putting it on the screen because that's just funny to me. I can't even help it. Yeah. Oh
no.
I don't know what's happening over there. There's a Facebook comment. Can I just? I want to
So
go back. I'm
the
going back
words
to
I
that.
learned to that song were different when I was at basic training. But yeah,
Right?
we can't say those words anymore because it's not correct. Hmm.
I got weird notifications popping up on my screen. Okay,
Well,
easy
okay.
scroll day for me. Careful.
I got a fly.
Yes.
It's nothing worse than a fly in your truck. All I did was open the door.
That's funny.
Jeez.
Hey, there you go.
Sean Holloway is going to the dark side. He's following me. I don't think he minds.
Right.
He's in Knoxville right now going through orientation.
Mike Anderson, yes, helped my family. They didn't even make any money off of what he found us. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that dude Greg at ES Health Plans, that dude's phenomenal. Seriously.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I actually talked to him for a good half hour when we were at that conference, Charlie. I think you were off schmoozing somebody else, but I actually sat down and talked with him for a while. And so people think that's weird. Well, let's toot our own horn for a second, you know.
Dude.
The insurance program that we brokered for the Swift guys. We don't make any money off of that.
Right.
We're still in business, right? This is a business. But you know, you do stuff for people. And then, you know, whether you believe in karma or not, that whole thing of things come back to you.
Right.
That's the way he does business. You know, Mike, he knows that you were going to say something like that in a public forum, and 3 guys are going to see that and say, "Hey, I'm going to give him a call."
ESHealthplans.com.
And maybe they don't qualify for what you qualified for, and he makes a little bit of money there.
Right.
You know, that's the way real, you know, that's the way real business works, Charlie. Real business is serving people to the benefit of everyone.
Right.
Let's just cut off this whole left wing, right wing, capitalist, communist thing. Real business, the way we practice it, the way the people that we do business with practice it, it's service and everybody benefits. Yes, we make money. Yes, you're going to make more money. You're going to get a service through ES Health at a really good, affordable rate.
Right.
And then he's going to make a little bit of money here and there. And you know, if everybody did business like that, Charlie, imagine what things would be like.
It's insanity.
I mean, I'll go off on that one, man. Speaking of business, Charlie,
here we go.
Are you
It's
making
that
money?
time.
Are you?
I
making
am.
money?
I am.
How do you know?
I agonize over my damn numbers. I don't
Yeah.
agonize. Some weeks it's agony. This week is not going to be pleasant, but I can tell you, guys in our okay, let's just throw this out here. When I say guys, I mean people. So get over it. If there's anyone that's offended by that, that's what I got. I'm sorry.
You're such an old man.
Right? I know. So
I'm the one with the gray hair.
Right. Every week in our private community, I have a short feature video where I've been calling it Games on the Go. And I'm putting my numbers up weekly, and we're talking about how I got those numbers. You know, I set what my goals are each week. I have a set of goals, and each week I've been going over whether or not I've hit those goals. In the last few weeks, I have done well because of the operation I was running. Well, my operation with the carrier has changed this week because that old thing that we were doing was a temporary thing, and it is gone. And boy, howdy is it gone. That was a bummer, man. It made me really sad. So I go over my numbers and I break it apart. I mean, you know, the percentage of revenue that I'm keeping is actual net profit, things like that. So I'm tracking my fuel mileage, you know, 30, 60, 90-day lifetime averages, things like that. And I am dissecting my numbers. And I can tell you that when I don't meet my numbers, I know why. Not even just why, but exactly, this tank of fuel cost me this because of this, right? So, I mean, throw it at me, Jeff. What else you got? What are we going to dive into exactly on this?
Well, one of the things I don't think people understand is just because you were able to pay your mortgage doesn't mean you're making a profit.
Right.
Okay. As an entrepreneur, you have to look at things differently than you do as an employee. You know, if you're down there, throttle all the way down,
Right.
just cruising down the interstate to your next stop, you don't care about fuel, you don't care about nothing. Unless there's a bonus attached to it, which a lot of carriers have bonuses attached to that stuff. But from what I could tell, employees don't care anyway. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Right.
I want to get more into, is your business profitable? Because you and I, we had long discussions about this, about a year ago?
Right.
Where we actually, between the two of us, we started looking at what's our business profit. And so hold on to your hats for a second, guys, because here's the thing. Charlie and I were talking about, hey, I had $100 in business profit this week.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
Now, here's why. Here's why. You know, $50, $100, $200 in business profit. Okay. So this is after everything, after payroll, after all expenses. People think that because they made a paycheck on their personal side,
right?
Oh, I'm a profitable business. Not according to the IRS, you're not. Not according to other entrepreneurs, you're not. Not unless you have stuff left over,
right,
at the end of the year in your business bank account. After everything is said and done, what is that profit? So we talk a lot about so you might have seen some of our marketing. We want to level up your business. We want to help you level up your business. And that's a key factor, because as we go down this path, we start talking about, well, maybe I want a small fleet. Maybe I want to scale this thing I've been doing for so many years. Maybe I want to eventually get out of the truck and be a fleet manager, and it's my fleet. You can't do that unless you have some business profit to filter into that business. And so that's one thing, is the business profit versus personal finance. You got to separate it. Again, we're thinking like entrepreneurs here, not employees. So we got to get that business profit in our mind. Sometimes, Charlie, I think there was actually one week, Charlie, where I called you all excited because I made $10 profit that week.
Yes.
I was like, dude, it's a profit. I didn't think I was going to have one. I thought I was going to have to dip into my savings to pay payroll this week. You know,
it's legit. Like, there are those weeks, there are those months. It's just, it is part of business. Hopefully you're planning, right? And you can okay, here's as spiritual as I will ever get, but I love this phrase: man plans, God laughs. Mm-hmm. Right? So you can have the best laid plan. And what that means to me is you can plan it all out. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bam. Someone throws in 11. Oh, what just happened? Right? So, but hopefully that, you've been following your course, your strategy, your laid out plan well enough, long enough that when someone does throw 11 at you, right, you're like, oh, cool, that's interesting, and I'm not destroyed. I'm still here, yo.
Right. Those of you that have been around for more than about 10 years, you remember, and I always preface this by saying it's unfortunate that we use presidents' names to mark time, but it was during President Obama's administration that this happened. The Great Recession of 2008, 2009.
Oh,
right. That was the last time that we had really bad times, was for that couple of years. Very much like this time, only it didn't last as long. So how did all of us survive that?
Right.
We stayed the course. Now, I always told people, and the same thing now with what's going on right now in the economy. Times like this, I'm still in business. I'm not saving a whole lot of money.
Right.
I am still in business.
Yes. Look,
And
in a time like this, Jeff, I'm sorry, but in a time like this, my focus is not profit. My focus right now is maintaining my business so that it's carrying itself.
Right.
Now, I have had profitable weeks during this crazy tumultuous time. Look at that word, Jeff. Come on, you owe me $1 for that one. Anyhow, but I've had profitable weeks during this time, right? And those are great. But my goal right now, there's an awful lot of people who can't keep the wheels turning, not because of the freight or that, but because they don't have any money to turn the wheels. They can't put fuel in their truck. They can't make the truck payment. They can't pay insurance.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, these are the times to learn how to actually run the business lean. And again, are you making money? Maybe, maybe not.
Right.
But make sure, we're going to promote a specific guy, Colton, the trucker CFO.
Love that guy. TruckerCFO.com.
With if you have an accountant, which you all should have an accountant, we're going to recommend Colton.
Check out the bottom of the screen for that. Just saying.
Your accountant should be giving you a profit and loss statement every month. When I was with ATBS, the 800-pound gorilla out there, even they would, assuming I had my receipts in by the last day of the month, I would have a profit and loss statement by about the 10th for the previous month.
Right.
And you need to be looking at that. Yeah, because you might be surprised. So there was actually a time, right? Mortgage was paid. Kids were fed. All that stuff. And I'm looking at my profit and loss statement. And I'm like, wait, I'm not making any money here.
Right.
Obviously, I was having to dip into savings to pay my bills.
Operating in a deficit.
But, a lot of times we turn a blind eye to that.
Right.
And the profit and loss statement will bring you back to reality real quick. Especially if this is one of the reasons, Charlie, that I have a business savings account and a checking account. Because it's easier for me to visualize if I'm having to dip into savings, if I am actually making a transfer out of savings into checking to make payroll.
Right.
Okay. That's a tool that I've learned to use. Separate that money out so that, okay, well, I'm having to dip into this now. That sucks. That means I'm not making money.
Josh McClain, did you come up with that out of your brain right there? Because if you did, I'm putting that on a card and quoting you. If not, let me know who that quote is from, because that is amazing. Mm-hmm. Plan for a rainy season, not just today.
That's right.
Jeff, that's a card right there, bro.
Yep, that's a quote card.
Sorry. That one just triggered. I was like, woo, that's good stuff right there. Simple little statements like that. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm better.
And, it's a heck of a season we're in, guys. I would say I'm looking at the list of commenters, and almost all of you are still in the game.
Right. One form or
even
another.
You, Sean, even though we've talked about the weird business model that we're running in.
Right.
We're still 1099. Sean's still running his S Corp, And you might be surprised, Sean, that you might be happy that you had an S Corp with this operation.
I think so too.
Running a team expedited, holy cow. I mean, I'm doing really well. Running a team with a spouse, you're going to kill it.
Proud American, I saw your questions. I will come back to them, I promise. I just didn't want to break this topic up, bro.
Got veteran business there?
Yep.
So yeah, that's the kind of the theme of the show that we came up with this week. Don't just say, "Oh, of course I'm making money." You may or may not be. How do you know if you're not paying attention to your accountant? Right now, Charlie knows, and those of you that are in the private group know My main focus right now on my business is my profit per mile. Going into a situation where I'm able to negotiate a little bit, I'm really laser focused on that profit per mile. And that has the potential to blind me. Yeah. So what if I'm doing over $2 a mile profit? If I'm only doing 700 miles a week, who cares? Right? There's a danger to becoming laser focused in one area. It's even pink.
Bro, wrote it down. I'm telling you, I love that. That is, Josh, we're gonna
quote you.
That is absolutely going
Look for
up.
it.
Yes, that is going up for sure. I really like that one.
Today's the first day of school, so Donna might not be listening.
Right. Oh no, I'm putting that in the mix somehow. Let's see. Trucker Tim, I get a P&L every month, but I can't make heads or tails of it. That's, you know what though, Tim? That's what you just did right here in front of these tens and tens of people.
2 tens right now.
Exactly. Is you did a thing that a lot of people won't do. You admitted, hey man, I got this. I don't understand it. And we forget sometimes the things that we didn't understand. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach out to Jeff and myself, and let's set up a time that we can go over that with you. Okay. So it's on you though, because I'm not going to remember in 10 minutes that I needed to set an appointment for you. I need you to set up a time and contact us to do this. All right. We need you to take that step, because we're not going to chase you down, bro, or anyone. We're not going to chase anyone down to do this stuff. We need you to make the initiative. Right. There are people that say, hey, I really need you to talk to this guy because he's really having a hard time. The first thing Jeff and I do is say, great, have them reach out to us. Mm-hmm. Because if they don't reach out to us, if they can't make the effort to reach out to us, they're just not going to follow.
We have seen a pattern, folks. So when we say reach out to us, 100% sincere. The reason that we stopped reaching out to people ourselves, we saw a pattern, right, Charlie?
Right.
People that reach out actually want help. People that don't. It's a waste of all of our times. So if you want help, we're there for you. We need you to make the contact, though. Oh, I'm reading comments now. We're both reading comments at the same time. That's really bad TV.
I know. It never works. Victor said, what's up, my contractors? It's just, I can't help it. Dennis said something. Jeff, you and I have talked about my situation starting with a new company in January and going back to the lease side. Okay. Yep.
I'm gonna call you out though, Dennis.
Do it.
We call you out. I haven't seen you sign up for the community yet, bro.
It's a thing.
I'm just saying.
The
promo ends in 2 weeks, guys. Promo ends in 2 weeks.
I'm not sure how to take this, but I'm putting it up. James said, Kabir. I'm assuming this is
not be proud.
This is a person, prophetic type person, maybe. I don't know.
My guess is a guru.
Right. That's the word I was looking for. Do not be proud looking at your beautiful body today or tomorrow. It will be abandoned like a shed of snake. Look, that's legit.
My beautiful body abandoned me starting at about 40.
Well, and I think that you can. This is easily translatable right over to your business. You know, we get comfortable on the good times, right? And we forget that there were bad times.
Yep.
And forgetting those bad times is in business, in life, in countries, in states, in cities, in townships, forgetting your history is a sure way to repeat it and fail again. I don't know. It's a thing. Start another one, Victor. I'll come back to that, bro. There was something. I missed something. What did I miss? Oh, Sean figured out how to put his bunk down, so that's awesome. Anyhow, okay, back to
So Sean is actually going into the straight truck that I drove for 2 months.
that's just fun. I can't help it.
So
Wait
so
till
I was able to.
he left for you.
I was able to furnish him with my fuel mileage numbers for that truck, though, so he knows what to expect.
Hey, Sean, he left a note in that truck. When you find it, let us know. Shut up, bro. Shut up. Shut up, bro. You made a face and you ruined it already, man. Dang it.
You're
Jeff.
assuming he's actually watching us.
He is.
He might be listening.
Well, dang it. You're right. Darn it. Whatever, bro. Hey, you know what, though? TruckerCFO.com, right there. Information down at the bottom. You can shoot them an info at TruckerCFO.com. You can go to www.truckercfo.com. You call them at 800-533-4230. Check that dude out, because Colton is the bomb. I'm just saying. Sean said he's busy stuffing stuffs. I like that. James said, cough, cough. Answer your phone. Cough, cough. It's a thing.
Sometimes you can answer the phone for me. What are you talking about?
I try, bro. It depends on what's going on. And then I have trouble getting back to people. It's legit. I have been making a conscious effort to try and get back to people within 2 days. Doesn't always work. But okay, so here is a little secret sauce that's not great. I won't look farther back than 2 days anymore. I apologize. If you haven't heard back from me within 2 days,
wow,
might want to hit me, because it's a thing. I was going through my call log the other day, man, and I was dialing like a madman trying to get back with people that I owed phone calls. TK was one of them. TK, I tell you, I'm like, look, man, I know I've missed 3 calls from you, or whatever it was at the time. I'm like, I'm sorry, and you have my time right now. So I do apologize. I do take a lot of calls every day, and it's kind of crazy, and I try. I'm not a perfect man. I'm not a perfect man. It's the best I got right now. Okay. Dennis said he knows he's been nonstop. He'll be home on the 20th, 29th for some time off, and he'll take care of it. There you go. Turkey Tim said, I know I'm making a profit based on my dashboard, but reading the P&L is what gets him. So there you go. Like I said, you gave us thumbs up. You acknowledged what I said, and we're expecting to hear from you fairly soon, brother. Or when you get some time. We may have to, keep in mind, we may not be able to drop everything right then and there, but we should be able to schedule a time to be able to.
Yeah. Well, we'll try and do it like on a Zoom or something so that we can share screens.
Right. That is the way we need to be able to do it. So this is what I would say. If I needed to be there, I am not real good technology wise when I'm on the road. Jeff is much better technology wise on the road. If I'm needed in this, it's got to be a Tuesday or Wednesday. And Tuesdays are a little tough, to be honest. Jeff and I
schedule a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we have coaching calls and things like that for our own coaching, right? Our coach, the guy that coaches us, Josh Hull, we that's a Tuesday thing.
And for those of you that have signed up for the community, by the way, Josh will have a training up for us sometime in the next 24 hours. Right. He has some technical difficulties on his recording.
Oh God, it just almost made my head explode when I heard it.
So he's going to have to redo it, but it's only about 8 minutes or so, 6-8 minutes. But yeah, he's got that done, and we'll get that to you. That's one of those bonus trainings from Josh that you get as part of the early adopter. One of the early adopters. Why don't you do that? Those veteran stuff, because I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Proud American. Proud American asks, do you know what website I have to use to access my post 9/11? What he's talking about there is his post 9/11 GI Bill. This is what I'll tell you. Go to the va.gov. Seriously, postva.gov. Let me see if I can find you a more direct link to it. Let me do this. I'm going to put a link in the chat for you. And you should be able to click on this link and save it if you'd like. And reach out to those folks there. And I believe that they'll be able to guide you through what you need to do. I didn't get to use my GI Bill. It was a bummer. I really am sad. It had a hard deadline to use it that I was unaware of because, wait, you're going to love this, Jeff. Younger me didn't read the contract on it.
No.
True story. It happened.
Wait, what? Your recruiter didn't tell you had 10 years to use it after release?
Right. Exactly.
Shocker.
Yeah. I'm just saying, which is a real bummer because I actually had at one point, there was some educational stuff that I really wanted to get done that I simply couldn't afford myself without using that GI Bill. And I thought, awesome. And they're like, yeah, bro, you're out of the date. I'm like, that's a bummer. So, yeah, I mean, it's the thing. Proud American said he's getting out of the business. He's trying to go back to school and become a diesel mech. He's hanging up the keys, looking to get certified as diesel mech and master the trade through UTI. I'm going to roll for a month more to build savings and transition to school time. That's awesome, bro.
Yep.
Look, I love that you're planning it that way. I mean, you've actually thought, oh, crap, I better set aside a little extra because I'm not going to have an income. Or, you know, maybe I know a lot of people that have just jumped. They're like, I'm out, and jumped into some sort of education program or what have you with no thought, no plan. And then they end up having to go get another job that is really bad and maybe takes up too much time so that their education time is not
right
focused and the premier thing in their life. Because if you're going to jump into an educational type thing, you want that to be your focus. You want that to be your 80% at least, right? Everything else should be that 20%. You should be, I believe this, it's purely me. I don't know if you agree or not, but that's what I'm saying. I think you should be at least 80% into everybody says, oh, you should be 100%. Let's be, you can't put 100% into everything. You can't. But if you can focus on 80% into this new education venture, I think you're setting yourself up for a whole lot of success and not failure. And I think that's awesome. And by the way, Proud American is just a damn fine name. And when you first posted, you posted the word airborne. And yes, sir, airborne. Maybe, ma'am. I don't know. I don't know. I apologize. Yes. I love it. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. And sir, ma'am, thank you for your service. I know we all hate that shit stuff. Oops. But I don't care. I like saying thank you to my favorite people who have served, and I dig it, man. So it's funny. People don't understand why we kind of cringe a little when people walk up and say, "Hey, thanks for your service." Right? And we do. We cringe a little sometimes. Sometimes you see, you're like, "Oh, no worries." What it's a weird thing. I think it's different from a service member to another service member. It means something different to me when someone who served in the military walks up and says, "Hey, man, thanks for your service." I literally had a conversation with a dude in Texas a couple weeks ago. Vietnam vet. We got to talking about some stuff. Some of it was pretty deep. I mean, it was really deep on his end. Mine, I can't even compare stories, right? I can't. Those folks are my favorite people to talk to. The Vietnam era guys, because they absolutely got hosed in the system. Anyhow, when our conversation finished, it was. I thought it was a cool moment. It was just him and I. And he's a little tiny dude. Like he was like literally like this short to me, right? And I was like, I wouldn't fight this dude. I'm just saying. And he's older than me, and I still wouldn't fight this dude. I'm like, after hearing some of the stories, I was like, nope. You got it, bro. Anyhow, when we were done talking, he looked at me and he said, "Hey, man, I'm going to thank you for your service." I said, "No, man, I want to thank you for yours." And then we hugged, bro. We hugged it out. It was a big old type of hug. And I'm just saying, I want to throw those all out.
There you go.
So I'm a little, sometimes we know this. Everybody knows this. People that have seen me, have talked to me in person, know that I get a little squirrely sometimes. Zip, 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 zip. I did another video this week in our private community. And I'm thinking about putting it out on the regular YouTube, Jeff, by the way. I didn't throw it at you. I was thinking that the one that I did on mental health.
Mental health?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's one I'm going to throw out on the regular YouTube. It's a short video, but I think it's important. And I think that if basically what I said is you need to look after your own mental health because it's important, right? Find people to talk to. And if you are having a hard time and you don't have someone to talk to, this is near and dear to me. Please reach out. Find someone. If it's me, I'm a great listener. You need someone to cry with. This is not the manly stance, but you need someone to cry with. I'm your dude. I'm all right with it. It's happened. I've damn near teared up on this show a couple times in the past. I'm just saying. I could actually right now. It's there. So anyhow, let's move on, Jeff. What else we got? What have I missed here?
Whew. Sorry, I was checking the temperature on my APU.
No, you're good, bro.
I don't. Did we get all your starred ones?
Yep. I should unstart. Oh no, Victor. Off topic. Which company you use for your coverage for concealed carry? USCCA. I can send you a link, bro. Give me a little bit, and I have a link that I can send you. Because look, I want free stuff. If you sign up through that link, I get free stuff, and so do you. So I'm just saying, might as well.
They've got some pretty. I see them on my Facebooks a lot these days. Probably because Charlie's always talking about them, and Google listens.
All right.
But they got some pretty cool giveaways right now, man. Bags and stuff, and
yes,
pretty good stuff,
dude. I'm mad because I can't get that stuff without buying it all.
The new guy stuff.
Yeah, the new guy stuff. God.
Well, I was looking at what they're offering right now. It's like a couple bags and this and that, and I'm like, that's got to be worth about a year's worth of subscription right there,
dude. For real, right? Look, I get credit in their store. That's what I get if I get a referral. So right now, I literally have. I think there's 1 or 2 referrals on my account, and it's still not enough to get the stuff that I'd like to get. I'm not even sure if I can do it yet, but I actually want to use it to get some additional real life training through them. And because they have courses that are available all over the place, all over the country, and things like that. So you can find local courses on different tactics and things like that. You see how well I'm tapping around the topic, Jeff? I think I'm doing well here. And so they have these in-person courses that you can take, and I'm actually trying to find out if I can use it for some of that. They have some online courses that are pretty fabulous too. So yeah. Anyhow, check that out, Victor, USCCA. And yeah, I believe.
Well, and I think you're gonna say this. Everybody knows that Charlie and I are both pro Second Amendment guys. I have personally never owned a firearm unless I needed it for work. It's just me. But I'm still a pro Second Amendment guy. But you know what? If you're going to exercise that particular right that we have in the United States, go get some training.
For real.
And honestly, I don't care if you were a special forces super soldier back in the day. Get some training.
Oh, so here's my experience with folks like that. And we know training, consistent training is the key.
Yep.
So yeah. It's a wonderful thing. Everybody knows that muscle memory will fade if not used. So
well, and you were and Charlie too. Another point of that is just a lot of truckers are veterans. You did law enforcement on both sides of the fence. The training was different on the civilian side, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah. It was.
So you got it. Make sure
So
you
very,
know what's
very
what.
different. But yeah, definitely get your brain in the right place, and seek training and train often and carry daily. I'm gonna say it. Okay. All right. James is out. He's got to hop the board. He's going to the house. That's good. Be safe,
Nice.
brother. Yeah, Audie Murphy, for real, proud American, dude. That's my boy Fred down there in Laredo, Texas. Love that dude. Love that dude. Lost a lot of people in his circle, and it really bummed me out. For real. Whew. I need to change my mind here, Jeff. I need you to help me out, bro.
Change gears back to business.
Yeah, because I'm not a good day. I don't know. I'm in a spiral mode and I can't spiral. We're doing a live show, bro. You like
get
that?
my notebook out to see if I can filter something.
Look at that. He's in Laredo at the moment. There's a Target store down there, and the receiver dude who works in the back of that store, his name is Fred, and he is freaking awesome. Tiny little dude. He's definitely gone by now. He leaves pretty early in the day, but that dude is awesome, man. Can't remember his last name. I just know he's his Fred, and he's awesome. And God, shout out to that dude. I'm gonna clear out my stars here, Jeff.
Okay.
Oh,
so kind of building on one of the themes that I saw up there, something I got from Tony Robbins in last week. Quote from him is, "Anticipation is the ultimate superpower." Tony Robbins, the man.
Right.
And, he's talking about personal development and business. A lot of people think of Tony as the motivator, right? Because he is. He's larger than life. He's exciting to watch. He gets in your face, all that stuff. He makes grown men cry on stage.
He made me cry.
Stuff. But yeah, he also does business. And I was watching a thing with him about business. And the reason for the statement is exactly what we were talking about before. Plan for a rainy season, not just for a rainy day, and anticipate that that's just going to happen. You just know it's going to happen, right?
Right.
Anticipate it. We know in the trucking industry that we're in a very cyclical business, right? I used to tell my students, it's very feast or famine. When it's good, it's freaking great. Make money hand over fist. When it's not good, people quit. I mean, there's no other way. You're out here for weeks on end not making money. Why would you stay doing that? But if you've anticipated that, if you've anticipated that ahead of time, though, and you prepared for it, then you just you get into survival mode, like Charlie and I are in, right? Because we know that it's going to come back up. And we've seen this time and time again, even with the little dips, right? Oh, man, I ain't making any money. I'm just turning my truck in. Now, you got to get me wrong on this at all. I've got nothing against you personally. If that's your case, you've just got to go do something else. So don't think I'm down on you for it. But how many times have you seen Charlie? Dude turns in his truck, and literally within 30 days, we're all making $3,000 a week.
Right.
Boom. Just like that.
Without even breathing hard.
If you would have just held on for another month.
But look, there comes those times.
Mm-hmm.
Some make the decision, and it's one of those things, and you can't. I don't think you can go back and kick yourself in the nuts over it.
No.
When it's time to make a decision, you make a decision, right? And you got to act on it.
Right.
Don't kick yourself in the nuts over it, but always be open to learning from something.
I think this is where having that 10,000 foot, 10-year long vision comes in.
Absolutely.
I remember years ago I read this book on becoming a a day trader. Wasn't really teaching day trading. That's a technical term. Those of you that know what I'm talking about know. Those of you that don't worry about it. But he was teaching people how to become professional investors. And the first thing in his book was decide right now that you still want to be a trader in 20 years. Just decide right now. Or just don't do it. And this was a dude that had a PhD in psychology, and the whole book was on the psychology of trading. And that was his take. It's like, look, man, if you don't want to be doing this for the next 20 years of your life, just get a job. And I think that as we see how carriers market their owner operator programs, that's definitely missing from their sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we see people all the time. I just want to lease a truck for 2 years and then go out on my own. Well, why lease a truck at all? Why don't you just save some money and in 2 years go buy a truck and go out on your own?
Right.
Instead of breaking a contract. I'm just saying.
Right. I mean, look, there are definite different paths to take.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like just saying, you know, if that is your ultimate goal, then maybe there's a better path. Mm-hmm. But then again, at the same time, Jeff, let's be real. The barrier to entry could be the decider for some, right?
Well, that's why we end up in these lease purchase programs
instead
of going out and getting our own authority right out of the gate, right? You know, I've said, you guys have heard this before, and I'm going to say it again. In 2021, I was seriously looking at getting my own authority. It would have taken everything in my bank account to do that because of two things: insurance,
right,
and the cost of trailers during COVID.
Was ridiculous.
I mean, Charlie and I were looking for cheap trailers for me. And what was the cheapest we found, Charlie? Like $20,000, and it was like
for
an old
garbage
carrier trailer.
Right. It hadn't even been refurbished yet, right?
Right. Brand new Great Danes were going for $100,000, just dry vans. No flow below, no nothing. Just
the most straight. Basic.
Yeah. It was crazy times, man. And so, I actually called my cousin up, who's a successful businessman. He actually made a fortune as a stonemason. And, you know, business is business, guys. So if you have a friend, whether they're in the trucking industry or not, that's been successful at business, by all means, ask them questions. And we went over my finances a little bit. And he said, well, so Jeff, it sounds to me like your entire savings, everything would have to go into this.
Right.
And he said, that's not wise. I would not do that. You got to have a cushion.
Can't put all your eggs in one basket, they say.
Right. And so I followed my cousin's advice. And a year and a half later, about a year later, is when I moved to Utah. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I'd spent all that money getting my own authority and all that equipment and maybe making money. You know, the draw then, Charlie, was literally we were seeing $4 a mile freight.
Right.
Just regular dry van freight out there on the market.
We knew there was a ceiling to it and a drop dead date. The question was, when will that drop dead date be? Nobody really knew, right?
Right.
So my advice, which was I'll still stand by it to this day, was you missed the boat.
Yep.
You should have done this a year ago. If this is what you were going to do, you should have done it in the middle of the last climb or at the bottom of the last drop. As it was rebounding. That was the time to do it so that you were set up and prepared for the top swing. Because then what we saw was an awful lot of people that made the leap into it at the top swing. And they did phenomenal for a few months.
A year.
Yeah, for a few months up to a year, right? And the bottom dropped out. And these people had no idea how to handle and run the business in what was actually more normal. And here's the funny thing is it was the drop put it back to normal high volumes.
Right.
Right. Which is that's a brain messer upper right there. It wasn't even the bottom, right? It was back to normal high volumes, and people were struggling and couldn't make a profit there because they got in so expensive at the top that they couldn't support it with the most minor of drops in reality. Because, like I said, it just returned to normal highs, and that was devastating to a lot of companies. And then the normal cyclical drop started happening, right? And because it was so high, that angle of attack was like, good God, I can't even, reach up that far, right? Because that it was like just a damn plummet. It was a cliff.
I mean, and it sounds harsh, but what we had tens of thousands of people get into this business that had no business being in this business. And so when the decline hit, and you watch some of the analysts out there, like the DAC guys, we like them,
Right.
and a couple of others that are actual like hard numbers guys. We are still at the freight levels of pre-COVID, which at the time was high.
Right.
But we have so many of these guys, and this is what's weird, Charlie, is the banks don't want to repossess those trucks because they're so upside down.
Yeah.
You know, we were actually talking to Tony from Seabright about this a while back, and also to Colton. And the weird thing is like the banks are just like, yeah, just keep running and pay us what you can, because they don't want those trucks back. They're so upside down.
Right. No, they want the ultimate money at the end of it somehow, some way.
I mean, we're talking about 2020 Freightliners that sold for $250,000.
The most basic of models out there.
Right.
If you could get one.
Right.
That was a whole nother thing.
So about the time that I paid off my 2016, we could get into this in another discussion, but so the money that you pay for a truck, you need to look at what the balloon payment is. That's what you're going to depreciate. So I'm going to say I paid $60,000 for that truck. The lease, that's something completely different. So I forked out 60 grand for that truck. I could have sold it for almost $100,000 in 2021.
Oh yeah. I missed the opportunity to sell Chewy.
650,000 miles on it all day long. I could just put it in truckpaper.com and sold it the next week for $100,000.
I could have got rid of Chewy, well over 1 million miles, million and a half miles. All day long, easily listed in truck papers. Could have sold that thing for $35,000-$40,000 without even blinking an eye, and would have had people competing over it.
That created a bit of a problem for me for my insurance on that truck, because when I first went to Seabright, the book on it was about 50, and within a year it dropped down to 25.
Right.
And you can only reset your insurance once a year. So for about 6 months, I actually overpaid on my insurance as far as
way overinsured for that one at that point.
And make no mistake, truck's insured for $50,000. I total it out. I'm still only getting $25,000 for that truck.
Because
people don't realize that.
But I just want to say this though, because Jeff owned the truck, there was no gap coverage needed in that.
Right.
There's an important distinction here. People like myself, I got into my truck overall. It's 205,000 over the term of the lease and the final balloon. Right. The market value on that truck, last time I checked, I believe it was last month, was about 150, yet I still owe 170 on it. So I'm going to get paid market value by most insurance companies at 150 and still owe, no, it was like 145, 146. Anyhow, I'm going to get paid that, and I'm still on the hook for that other 30,000 plus, right? But I have gap coverage, which most trucking insurance companies don't offer. But I have gap coverage that would have covered that extra $30,000 plus dollars, less my deductible, of course. Anyhow, so yeah, there was a thing there. But yeah, so, and in Jeff's case, because the truck was paid for outright, they're going to pay him the fair market value, which was $25,000, and he was paying for a $50,000 insurance policy, and he couldn't change it till the year was up. So it just it was a lot of weird timing for things, man.
Well, the thing is that it dropped so fast.
Right.
You know.
Oh, it's in the tanks
So-
right now. Look, if you're looking to buy a used truck,
Hit us up. We've got a line
yes.
on some used trucks.
There are some deals out there to be had. I'm just saying, there's a lot of deals out there to be had, and we might be able to help.
One of
guide
the,
you.
although I have to warn you guys, if you're looking at doing that, the reason why the value of trucks has gone down, and the reason there's such a glut in the market right now is interest rates.
Right.
You know, again, we were talking to our people that we know about it, because we know of about 125 trucks that are for sale that come from a fleet that we know actually maintains their stuff. And you know, they're just sitting there because they're normal buyers. They would normally go out of their fleet and be sold within a couple of weeks normally.
Right.
But interest rates the way they are, people are holding off on it, and I don't blame them.
And they can't get financing.
Yeah.
Qualifying for financing is a tough thing right now.
Yep.
Even with stellar credit at times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got a pretty good line if you've got a decent average credit score.
Yeah.
From last we checked. I would say in that 700 range, you're probably set up pretty good. But you're still going to need a down payment. Let's be real. This is not a lease. This is a purchase outright or a finance purchase deal. So it's a real deal. Yeah, you're not going to get this crazy lease deal. Whatever. I don't even know what to say right there. Hey, Trucker Tim is all loaded and weighed up. He's hitting the road. He'll be listening as he drives one of the prettiest areas in the country, the Columbia River Gorge. That is a nice drive.
It's an expensive drive.
It is. I wasn't going there. God, why you got to be a Grinch, bro? Why you got to rain on his sunshine?
I don't think there's much sunshine in Oregon.
I know, right? You know, a couple times a day, whatever.
Walking on sunshine. Whoa.
Nobody wants to hear you and I sing. Maybe we could get people to pay us not to sing. Oh, now I'm drawing a blank for songs. Dang it!
Singing at you.
Jeff, this is the thing I was telling you about. Nobody else can understand what I'm talking about. Watch this. Look at this. I showed that side.
Oh, yeah, that needs to be bedazzled, bro.
Right? That's what I was saying. It's like ready to go. Flip it open. That's the plunger deal I was telling you about. That's the 2 cartridges. How awesome is that? Can put it in my pocket. Keep it in my pocket. Sorry, that's my migraine shots. I got new ones this weekend. I'm pretty stoked about it. So here's the difference. This was the old one. That's a single shot. This is 2. You ain't walking around with that in your pocket because you're afraid you're going to break something. I'm just saying. This I could actually keep in my pocket.
Might end up with a shot and not even need it.
Right? In a place you don't want it. Just saying. So, hey, if you guys got anything you want us to touch on specifically, do me a favor. Throw it up in the chat. We will try and dip into it. There may have been a couple in the chat so far that I missed, and I apologize for that. If you asked a question and we didn't answer it, do me a favor and throw it back up there, and we will try and do our best to get to it.
Yeah, Chris Hamilton threw out the surcharge 40 cents this week for our Swift guys.
There you go, 0.400. Yeah, there was a 5-cent drop in the national fuel price this week. It was kind of a bummer. Yeah, Mike said, "Don't quit our day jobs." Which one, bro? I'm just saying, we got like 19.
Yep. Just going through to see if we missed anything there.
John's trying to get us in trouble. Can we never mind. Sorry, Donna. He's funny.
Did you go to the zoo today, Sean?
Dennis wants to know how much does he have to pay for no singing. There you go.
For you, we'll give you the special dentist deal at $200.
Or how's this? $37 a month. Go.
There you go.
See what I did there, Jeff? Just throwing
so
it out.
When Sean and Stephanie were going into the offices there in Knoxville, they spotted the zoo. So they were thinking about doing that. Excuse me.
I love when you cough like that. I just love watching your face. Your whole body does weird things when you cough, and I enjoy it.
Who said the zoo there sucks, Sean?
I think all zoos are cool. Even the bad zoos.
You know,
Sometimes
the best
the bad
zoo I
zoos
ever
are
been to, though, by far the best zoo I've ever actually been to is the one in Phoenix. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, I've never been there.
The monkeys are on an island. They have like a moat in an island where the monkeys are. And yeah, they've got the spy glasses to watch them.
If I
It's
had
pretty cool.
$1 million,
Yeah.
I'd buy me a monkey. A habit. You always wanted a monkey. Sorry.
Oh boy.
You didn't pay yet,
Go on.
Dennis. I can still sing. Just saying. Sean, remember we're from Dallas, so there you go. Brandy told him the whatever. You tell Brandy that any zoo is cool. Whatever. I'm gonna throw it out there. I ain't scared. Maybe a little. I don't even know the person.
You haven't met her.
I don't have to be scared yet. You guys may have to be scared, but I don't. She ain't coming to my house that I'm aware of yet. Whatever. San Francisco Zoo. I'd never been to that one either. Been to the one in LA. I always enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Been to a couple of them. I can't even think of which ones now.
The Portland Zoo's too small. It's always overcrowded.
Yeah, I went there. It was not pleasant. It was too crowded. But I thought some of the exhibits were pretty good.
I like the bat exhibit of all things.
Right. Hey, Brandy, we'll fight? You want to fight? Tell you what, Jeff's gonna handle my light work. That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Jeff's gonna take care of it, Brandy. Threaten me with a good time. What? Dennis said it's in the mail. I'm waiting, bro.
Snail mail.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, nice. Road Warriors is a slide in her presentation now. Like it? Dig it?
Yeah, I actually came up with that presentation to show those guys how to use the app.
Nice. Yes. Apparently it's zoo hour now, folks, because the San Diego Zoo, in Mike Henderson opinion, is his favorite. So there you go.
Nice. Hey, who doesn't love it? If you don't love animals, we have a problem. I'm just gonna
I love animals. And I know I can't be the only one that walks through exhibits wondering, I wonder how that tastes on a grill, right? I can't be the only one. Come on, someone give me a little shout out.
Now we're gonna have PETA after us.
Whatever, man. They want to yell at me too. Whatever. Love me some.
Get in line. Get in line.
Lean, mean protein. Just saying. Whatever. Not gonna tear me off of that. I'm just saying. May tear me off a bite or something else. What? Stop it. Good Lord, I don't even know what to do right now.
So, Sean, for the APU, and this has been the case in both trucks I've had with APUs on them, you got to shut the front curtains and then shut the middle curtain. You got to have that double barrier there. Otherwise, it won't keep up.
That's a bummer. It's been too damn hot.
And, you know, when it gets up there past 90, it's going to keep you alive. I didn't find it any better or worse than idling the truck. I mean, you know, what do you want, Sean? You ain't paying for it.
Good Lord.
I'll put it out there.
There was something else I wanted to talk today about, but I can't remember what it was, Jeff. And
Sean, since you're in the truck I was in, I actually took that top duck and pulled it through the cabinetry and ran it down to point right at me. That's what I did.
You could idle. It's just going to cost you money, bro.
That truck doesn't have Opti idle, and it shuts off after 3 minutes.
Does it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a bummer.
This truck, my Western Star.
Here we go. Wait. Don't say another word yet.
Not governed.
Now it's the Western Star moment. Go.
Not governed, and I can idle as much as I want. I just don't because I'm not in a hot enough area. But I tell you what, there's been a couple times where the temperature was up there over 100, Charlie. where I'm not afraid to say it. I ran the engine and the APU to get double air conditioning there for at least a little while to cool the dang thing down.
Right.
Well, because it's got the skylight, right?
Shout out to
And
Ransom.
in my opinion, big trucks should not have skylights.
Oh,
Because, I mean, yeah, okay, so they look fancy. I'll give you that. But it's just another place for the sun to get in.
right.
And the cover that they have for most of these things just does not really insulate
It still radiates heat
very
in
well.
and of itself.
But remember when I first got this truck, Charlie, and we were going to do the show. I'm like, hey, I'll open up the skylight to get more light on my face for the show. And I touched the glass on accident and about burned myself. I'm like, nope, we're putting that cover right back on.
Right. Oh my gosh. So the skylight in Chewy, because Chewy has one of those, right? And it is completely covered by Gorilla Tape and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. I used to have one of the covers, and I had like a sunshade that fit those openings. That somebody actually made those back in the day, apparently. And they still push too much heat through. So, a little insulating material and some serious Gorilla Tape, I'm just saying, helped out. Still didn't stop at all, but it wasn't like it used to be, because that thing was like a microwave coming off that glass. It was no joke. See, look, Chris is with me. I love it. Blackbeard, what's up, brother?
I saw a short from one of those dudes on the Facebook that's a mechanic. He gets up right close to the camera. He says, "Western Star is just a freight liner with a fancy body job. Changed my mind." And I'm like, "Hey, man, you won't get any argument from me, but it's an awful nice interior."
Yeah. Blackbeard, Sue still has that camera on her desk last time I checked, and if we ever run across each other, I keep one in the truck, not camera, headlight. And
right.
I still have one in my truck that I specifically for you. All we got to do is cross paths, and I know it's stupid, whatever, bro. I got you. I should just mail one to your damn house. You should just send me your freaking address, and I'll just mail it to your house. Maybe I'll send you two. Just saying. Give one to a kid, your partner, whatever. Save one for later. Make it a Christmas present. They were expensive. Just saying. Be like, do you know how much this owner-operator headlight is from? Anyhow, whatever. Blackbeard said he's thinking about trading a 680 for a 660 with an N14. I love the look of the 660. Right? I hated it when I had it. The sleeper in the 660 is freaking phenomenal. I did stub my toe several times stepping down into the sleeper. Well, actually stepping up out of the sleeper into the narrow pathway between the two driver's seat, or the
hit your head on that hatchway.
No, I was pretty good about that, but I would smash the hell out of my toes, man. Oh gosh. Yeah, it was something. But at the time I was keeping a Coleman cooler that I always ran around with, one of the cigarette lighter plug-in ones, right? The electric ones. And the damn cooler didn't fit between the seats because there wasn't enough room between the seats, so I couldn't keep my cooler there, and that upset me a lot. So I think that's probably the biggest reason I got out of that truck, because I couldn't keep my cooler there. And I couldn't find a good electric cooler that would fit the gap. Just saying. But my guys loved it. They absolutely loved that truck. And I had a team in one of those, and I today I might actually today, if I had to go into a KW, that might be the way I went. You know what I mean? Because I don't really necessarily have to. I didn't have a refrigerator because I wasn't cool like that back in the day. Whatever. I'm just saying.
Weak.
Yeah, I know. Wait. I'm gonna go back to Chris. Fuel miles, Western Star versus Cascadia. Charlie wins. This week, Chris, wait till you see my report this week. I haven't started sitting down to do all my numbers. I did my preliminary numbers. I'm still waiting for a couple things to finalize. But not looking great on the fuel miles this week. But that's because of the change in operation and everything else. But whatever. A lot of idle time for us this week. A lot of idle time.
There's some problems that need fixed on the truck I'm in. So we'll see once I get new tires put on, things like that. We'll see what the fuel mileage really ends up being. Um, and this is something that I should have noticed when I checked the truck out, but it's got 22.5 tall rubber on it instead of low pros. And that's going to suck about a half mile per gallon out of your tank right there. So I'm at like 7.8 right now. Given that the aerodynamics on the Western Star, because I've got the old body style, not the new one that just looks like a Cascadia,
Right.
not as clean. So I expected it to not do as well as my Cascadia did.
The Westcadia?
Right. Yeah, man. Like if I was to go to ES and say, hey, I really like those Western Stars, and they tried to sell me one of the new Westcadias, I'd be like,
Right.
just give me a Cascadia. Then,
Right.
If that's what you got.
Yeah.
Because it's the custom sleeper that I've got in this one. That's the reason why I really like it. Other than that, it's just a workhorse.
So Blackbeard said he just got his truck back Saturday and still having issues after $12,000 in repairs. That sucks, bro.
Yeah.
I got a thing happening. I told Jeff I got a phone call today.
Oh.
Uh,
Did you tell me?
Yeah. I told you Steve called me. Told me I needed to take my truck to Ocala.
Right.
They want me to drop, they're like they want me. I mean, the way it sounded over the phone is he wanted me to drop everything I was doing right now and take my truck to the Ocala shop because they were notified by the Phoenix shop people that I need to get my truck in right away because my truck is throwing codes for the DPF. Look, Linda, look. I have had codes, check engine, not codes, check engine light. If I idle too long, I get a check engine light. And when I took it in, when it first started doing that, and this has been like an ongoing thing forever with this truck, right? Which is funny. I don't get any active codes with it. I get a check engine light. And so I explained this a long time ago. In fact, to the Ocala shop, it was at least one of them. That, hey, I got the check engine light, but there's no codes. They're like, oh, were you idling? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So it's the thing. So the ECM or one of those control modules sends out a signal saying, hey, is this thing on? And it throws out a query. And if anything is not exactly perfect at the moment of that query, and it could simply be that I don't know, you jiggled the key at the wrong time. Who knows, right? And it doesn't get the response it's expecting. It throws up the check engine light, not like service soon, stop, or anything like that. Just that one that says, hey, there's something. You should look at it down the road or something, right? But it never throws an active code because I was telling Jeff, I've actually seen the light come on with the active code list on my dash active because I was trying to catch it. Yeah. And it never showed a code, not even a flash. Right. So they're like, yeah, it's just a thing, man. It's a known thing with these motors, blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden they're like, hey, you need to bring it in right away because it's like reasons. And I'm like, I have an appointment with the Ocala shop on the 27th of this month for a B service. I'll be happy for them to look at it at that point. I'm not driving there right now to do this. You're crazy. And Steve told me, all right, I'll let him know, man. Like he was expecting a lot of pushback from it or something. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. It's a thing. I would be interested. I think it would be neat if they took my DPF in one box out and looked at them. I'd really want to see what they look like right now since I've been using max mileage from forever.
We were talking about that, just as an experiment. It'll cost a little bit of money, but go to a DPF Alternatives and have them take it off and look at it, see what it looks like.
Maybe if I still have this truck at another 100,000 miles or 150,000 or 200,000 miles, I may very well do that. That is something we definitely talked about. And that's a whole nother show by itself. Just the fact that I just said that out loud. Jeff has we're going to fight. I already know we're going to fight. Jeff's going to challenge me on whether or not I should trade my truck, which is funny. And I like it. I like it. We've had this. He's like, bro, there's a conversation we're going to have. And I'm like, yep, I like it. I enjoy it because it keeps my mind going.
2 points of view, and you get to make up your mind on what you want to do for your business.
Right.
I'm pretty entrenched in my point of view on that one.
Yes. And I've gone back and forth on mine.
Yeah. So when it happens, it'll be valuable to you guys.
Mike Henderson, "This Little Light of Mine" is the song of all owner operators.
Well, so I don't remember if I actually told you guys, but so the APU on this truck crapped out on me the first week I had it, and so I ended up idling to stay alive. Right. Then I developed that problem that Charlie is talking about. So I drove the truck for about a week and a half that way, idling all night to stay alive, all that stuff. Get the APU fixed, stop idling, and it went away.
Right.
And the light stayed persistent for about 3 days after I picked the truck up from the carrier shop. And then it went out and haven't seen it since.
Right.
So there's absolutely something about idling the trucks. I can't say that it's well, I think we can say it's not good for these engines. It's not the engine itself, but for the after treatment and all that stuff.
Right. Extended idle periods.
I don't know. The 2016, I idled the hell out of that thing, and then took it to DPF Alternatives, had it cleaned, and they were able to clean it. It's not like I had to replace the DPF or anything. So, yeah, I mean, it's something to consider. I think it's one of those things that you consider when you're deciding on whether you want to get an APU. I'm in the camp at this point, and I have been for a while. Charlie, every couple of years I run the numbers on an APU.
Absolutely.
With fuel prices having been as high as they have been for as long as they have been this time, I think if you're a solo operator, it pencils out.
Right.
If you're a team, I think it's right on the edge, bro.
So when we run the math with Rosie and I on a typical operation that we might do, the numbers don't add up. Not with the infrequency of issues, other than the silly little light that pops up, right? That we were assured is just a random code and will reset itself after 3 cycles of 15 minutes or longer with the truck off. Blah blah blah, and you have to hop on your left foot and it goes away. But if it does get another one of those codes in the middle of that 3 cycles off, blah blah blah, it will reset that timer. So like we had the light on all week this week, but no active codes. Figure that one out. I'm just saying, if it's a problem, there should be a code. It should show something. It's legit. I'm not getting the service now, service soon light. I don't, whatever, man. I'm sorry, I'm not rushing over there for it. I'll see you guys.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they told you that it's no big deal, but all of a sudden they want you to take it there now.
Right. I'm just saying. Hey, last week we talked about something that I think that I'm gonna throw out in the open again. For the Swift guys. So I apologize to you non-Swift folks. This is gonna be a Swift information short bit. They were starting to lease trucks with recap tires on them because they are so proud and have decided that this brand of recap tire is phenomenal and they love it and they've had really good luck with it and this and that, whatever. I posed a question to some people in the division about the legitimacy of making such a statement without changing a contract. And I have been told that I have been assured that the contract part of that deal is going to be looked at and rectified post haste, is my understanding. So I'll let you know if I get any more updates on that. Anybody else, if anybody out there signs a lease in the very near future at Swift Transportation and your truck has recaps on it, do me a favor and look at Schedule B. That's the important schedule in this conversation, Schedule B. And let me know if it says anything about you having recaps. And if it doesn't, I believe you are well within your rights to say, I'm not accepting this truck without you putting original virgin tires on it. I apologize to the trucking gods if that's stirring the pot, but I'm just saying the contract is the contract, and it's black and white. It says certain things, and if we are held to it, then they are held to it as well. So moving on, Dennis said, hey, okay, everyone, have a good night and good week. Heading to bed, 2:30 a.m. comes early. Night. Yeah, bro, I feel you. 2:30.
Come on, man. As long as you get 3 hours of sleep, you're good. Come on.
I may still be up, bro. I don't even know because I'm kind of jacked up right now after that little nap. But then again, at the end of this thing, I could be like crashed. It's funny because I'll put in all this energy because, like, right now I'm standing up and I'm moving around. It actually helps me. It actually helps my neck being upright. It's the thing. Mark Olinger, good to see you, buddy. But then sometimes at the end of the show, I am completely burnt and spent. It's kind of funny and just like, bro, we're done. And other nights we're like, hey, let's go another hour, and we're like, we maybe shouldn't do that.
I've got to get up. I've got to get up at 4 Eastern.
There you go. Those are good days when we should do podcasts. We got to record another podcast soon. Mark Olinger got to see Craig Hutchinson today in Greenville, Tennessee.
Hey, by the way, we're open to suggestions on what you guys want to hear on the podcast too.
Right? Please.
If there's something you want us to cover. One of the things that we are actively working on right now is a carrier spotlight. Get some people from different carriers on the show. For them, it'll be a nice little recruiting thing, and we get some information out to you guys on different carriers and what they have to offer.
Not going to be fluff pieces. I mean, look, we're not here to shred people. Don't get us wrong. Nobody benefits from that. It's very easy. It would be very easy to get a carrier on here and just blindside them. Right.
We're not about that though.
But why? I don't understand. I've actually seen people do that, and I'm like, why would you do that? I don't even understand. I mean, gosh, right? I think that we will be fair, and we will ask real questions.
Well, I remember when Mother Trucker did that expose on Swift,
right?
Night Swift, and man, that was you guys don't even know. We got some of the scuttlebutt in the back on that, and Swift was actually nervous about that.
Right.
And it was all recorded and then professionally produced. It wasn't a live thing like what we do. But the dude was fair. He was not really pro Swift or anti Swift. He just told it the way it was, and that's the way we're going to do the carriers as well.
Do you know that Mother Trucker piece that he did when he walked around, and he actually spent a couple of days in Phoenix with the Night Swift folks? Mm-hmm. It was because of that piece that I contacted Adam Miller. Mm-hmm. I'm like, because I just figured Adam Miller would never want to talk to us. Let's just be real, right? I mean, we had spoken to Kevin Quast, and I could have conversations with these people, but getting them on the show is a completely different thing, mm-hmm. right? Or getting them to record a video is a completely different thing. It was very difficult at first and very protected with David Tillman, who is the VP of Night Swift Transport. I can't remember the whole Tillman. I'm sorry, man. He's got a crazy long title, right? But he's like the VP of all the safety of basically like all the companies, right? Under the Night Swift umbrella. And the first one we did with him, and we had already established a working relationship, Jeff, he and I, before this. And I said, hey, man, I'd really love to put you on the air. And let's talk about, in fact, we were talking about the personal conveyance stuff. That was the big thing when everybody was going crazy about it and didn't know what to do with it, right? And so what I told him was, I said, and I'll catch static for this from some creators out there, right? I said, let's record it. I will put it together, put the whole package together, and I will send it to you and give you absolute editorial rights over it, right? If there's anything that you want us to cut out, I will absolutely cut it out. I said, but I'm telling you now that if you sit down with us, we will ask some questions and we will talk about some things that maybe not super comfortable, but are not going to be gotcha aha moments, because that's not what we're trying to do. We're actually trying to educate people and get real good information out there, right? There's a little white buzz on my mic. It was making me nuts. And when we sat down and we recorded it, and I sent it to them, and they ran it through their legal people, mind you. Okay, they got legal to look at it, and not a single change was made to that video. Not a single edit was made in that video after I sent it to them. And I sent them, I want to say it was actually the entire video. There was like no cuts. There was no portions of it that
Right.
we couldn't use. It was the conversation from start to finish, and that's what we put out. And after that, they're like, "Hey," and we got Tillman on, different times here and there, and it was cool. But that mother trucker piece is what made me go after Adam Miller and those guys, is because I'm like, well, dang it, I'm a contractor here. Why'd I let him beat me to it? You know what I mean? And it was
Well,
simply
and
because
I
this
think
is a
people need to understand something about when you start talking to people at that level, and you're putting a piece together on them. It's not that these guys. I could tell you absolutely, Tillman's got nothing to hide.
right.
The dude's an open book when you talk to him. But when he goes on the record,
Right.
he could have to say something in court.
And that's the thing. Anything he says can and will be used against him in court, because
Right.
he's the
And
guy
so-
that goes to the depositions for all the big companies.
And so, when you're wanting to get information for you guys, when we want to get information for you guys from these people, it has to be that way. Because in the course of conversation, it might be, oh crap, dude, I shouldn't have said that.
Right.
Well,
Just
we
one
don't want-
wrong word.
We don't want Swift to get in trouble. We work with Swift, right? We work with, in my case, Panther. I have no interest in damaging the company that's writing my checks. You
Right.
know? Now, you also all have heard me say, I'm disappointed in the fake load board.
I was so going to go there just now. I'm glad you did.
And I will beat that drum until they fix it or get rid of it, one of the two. And for those of you who are like, what? Well, now that you don't work here, you want the load board gone. I'm like, no, I want the load board to be what they promised us 3 years ago.
Right.
That's what, this fake load board. And, since I'm not in the loop over there anymore, I don't know, but they were still going to try and get like Swift Logistics in there, stuff like that. They really need to do that. It's not just a nice thing to do, guys. And we're not here to cause too much trouble, although little controversy is good for TV.
Right.
This is a PRO Act thing. This is an AB5 thing. When you're looking at your contract with these carriers, how much control do you have over your business?
Right.
That's a thing. And Charlie and I are on the record saying, this sort of stuff isn't going to come from us, because we get it. We understand the contract. We understand the conditions that we signed up for. Okay?
Tell me how you really feel, Mike Henderson.
Yeah. But there are people. I mean, Swift got sued for $100 million last time. And my opinion on that, and I think Charlie shares this with me because we've talked about it, this was some dude that didn't make the money that he thought was promised to him, basically failed as an owner-operator at Swift, and decided to sue them instead of saying, oh, dude, I made a mistake, move on.
It started over sour grapes and not reading a contract.
Right.
However, that's not to say that there were not valid points in the suit that changes needed to be made. There were problems with that contract. In
to
my
their
opinion,
credit, they changed some things, sort of. So, it's just, when you look at these contracts, first of all, read them, right? Read your contract.
read it a lot and find someone to read it for you if you have trouble.
I've shied away from saying these exact words in public, Charlie, because I don't want to offend, half the audience. I'm going to say it now, though. Read that contract like a Southern grandma reads her Bible.
Amen.
I'm sorry, but that's the level that you need to be paying attention here. Read your contract, understand your contract. If you don't like your contract, there's options.
I'm constantly going over my contract, and I've had these damn things for, over a decade, almost 2 now, right?
Right.
I constantly am going over. I mean, the thing over the tires that we talked about last week.
Oh,
I was
dude.
like, damn.
You guys don't even know. So Charlie is like a dog on a bone with this thing. And he got a hold of this bone about 2 hours before our coaching call with the dude that we paid a lot of money for to coach us.
Right.
And his mind was not in the game.
No.
And he even admitted, he's like, I'm sorry, I've got contracts running through my head right now. Jeff, take notes.
Right. Send me a copy of this video from because our meetings are videoed. They're recorded, right? So that we can reflect back on them. And thankfully that happens. And it's great. But yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, and there's been times, I mean, I still have my old ICOA saved on my phone, so I can refer to it if you guys want to go over contracts. I can still do that. It's not like I got rid of my documentation.
Right.
But Charlie, how often if we had a question, we're like, that's got to be in the contract. Dang it, I can't remember. And both of us get our phones out, start looking through it. Oh, here it is.
This will tell you how much of a dog on a bone I am. I still have my contract open on my desktop on one of my other monitors right now, with that section about the tires highlighted, because I refuse to let this go. So I am waiting to see what happens.
So this brings up a good point about contracts, Charlie. One of the conversations we've been having is, so one of our members ended up with a truck, okay, a new-ish truck with recaps on it, issued that way. We started looking into it, and what we found is, oh, well, yeah, but we've decided that the recaps are just as good these days.
Right.
Basically a handshake, wink, and a nod type deal. And I'm like, no, we have a contract. It says right there in the contract. Now so what needs to happen is one of two things, Charlie. Either they need to change the contract, or they need to enforce the contract. What are the
two? And you as the lessee need to push that.
Yep.
It's on you, because here's the thing, right? If you accept the truck with the recaps on it, you have no recourse. Right? Some of those people that have those trucks with the recaps on it, if they want to fight it now, it's actually too late to truly enforce it. And here's the reason behind why I say that, okay? Because the contract specifically says that before you sign Schedule A, which is the final, I'm signing the lease contract on the equipment, you need to make sure that everything in Schedule B, which is the conditions the truck is expected to be returned in and or issued out as, those conditions must be met. And if there are any problems, you need to point out those issues before signing Schedule A.
Right.
You didn't bring it up before. So you need to pull it up before you sign that lease, because once you sign that lease, you have bound yourself to that and accepted any shortcomings, omissions, what have you. And you're on the hook.
At that point, it becomes an as-is sale.
Right. And you've done it to yourself. It's not to say we're not still going to fight and try and get these things fixed. We're just saying that from a legal standpoint, it becomes a much shadier position to fight out of.
Right.
Right. And so that's why I went dog on a bone with people over there and said, hey, this is a problem. And this is what I'm going to tell people. And that's my position.
So Mike, here's something interesting is that we saw pictures of those tires that got sent to us. And I could see it, Charlie, on those specific tires.
Yeah.
If you weren't really looking at them, sure.
Yep. It's legit.
Because the truth is, I still won't put recaps on my truck. You won't get me to do it. But they are better, Charlie, than they used to be.
Right. Oh, well, look, when I got Chewy had recaps. I ran those recaps on recapped wide singles that were Michelin casings with Michelin treads, recapped by Michelin. And those tires, I turned them in and still had life on them and put, 200,000 miles on them, and they weren't even anywhere near full life when I got them. Right? There are some good recaps out there. However, it falls on you, the guy operating, the lady operating, the person operating the vehicle, to stay vigilant in tire maintenance. And let's be real, a lot of us are lacking in that area. How many of you check your tire pressures every day? How many of you check, right? How many of you are inspecting your tires every time you stop? Right? I mean, it's a perfect opportunity. You stopped. You can walk, you're going to walk in the rest area to use the restroom. Walk down one side of your truck on your way to the restroom. Visually inspect your tires. Feel your tires. If one of your tires is super hot compared to the rest, you've got a problem. You need to figure out why. They should all be fairly equal in temperature. Your steers will typically be warmer than the rest of the tires because it's a single tire position. It holds, typically holds a different weight ratio balance type thing. Words are not my buddy right now.
And it goes like this down the road.
Right. So your steers are typically a little hotter than the rest of your tires, be they drive or trailer tires, right? But the best time to, by the way, the best time to feel the sidewalls or treads inside sidewalls, I know, of your tires to check for that heat increase is right after you stop, because it really only takes a couple of minutes for them to cool down to a point where you're not getting any useful information.
Well,
I used to take a little heat gun.
I was gonna say, you used to have that heat gun thing, right?
Right. And what I found was over time, I would heat gun them and feel them, heat gun them and feel them, heat gun them and feel them, heat gun, feel, right? I was building what's an acceptable level to what I feel with my hand.
Right.
Right. And so now I'm actually pretty good about feeling it and being like, okay, we're still within, good parameters here. Right. And I don't stick my tires every day. I mean, I'm willing to say that it's not like it's a big secret, right? But I do check pressures on a regular basis, and I do visually inspect my tires damn near every time I get out of the truck and walk away. And I do exactly what I'm saying. Now, it's hard to get accurate feel temperatures, right? Touch temperatures if you don't walk both sides immediately after. But you should at least be walking down one side, taking a good look at your tires, and on the way back, walk down the opposite side. How much time did that take out of your day? It took no extra time out of your day, seconds.
Right.
Just saying. So, at least do that. But so with the recap technology being what it is, I mean, yeah, some of them are better, but there are still a lot of really crappy recap jobs out there. And if you're not monitoring them, you're not paying attention to them, those things peel off. I was going to make some racy joke about clothes and strippers. Anyhow, probably shouldn't go that route. Anyhow, I think you get my point. Those tires are just coming apart, and that sucks, and it's not a good thing. TK said
that's an odd number of tires to replace. Why is there an odd number of tires? Anyway.
I'll challenge you on that statement. Life on 18 wheels. He said every recap is trash. I disagree. I had, like I just finished saying, I had a phenomenal set of recaps that were Michelin sidewalls with Michelin treads, and had decent fuel mileage, and were recapped by Michelin.
And I think that's what, and I think that's what Beckett says about it too. If you're gonna buy recaps, make sure that they're Michelin's first of all. They're recapped by Michelin with Michelin treads. He still doesn't like them, but
right.
If you're gonna do it, that's the way you do it. Hey, I had a tip for people that is shady, but I wanted to bring it up anyway, Charlie. You know what I'm going to talk about.
Nice.
The TPS, the tire pressure system. When you pick up a trailer and one of the tires is off the bead, and you see that light on the TPS that it's actively pushing air, drive the trailer around the block and see if it reseats. It doesn't always happen. You don't want to go 100 miles like that, but just drive it around the block a couple times. I would say that about half the time it reseats on the bead and fills up.
Right.
Now you want to inspect the tire before you do that. If there's an obvious big strip missing,
Right.
Obvious big hole in it.
Bolt sticking out
Obviously,
of it.
call on road. But it's just a little tip that could save you some time, assuming that the tire is good. It could save you some time, and it'll save the carrier some money. And we saved them.
Don't drive around with flat tires. I had to say it out loud.
Well, yeah, you don't want, like I say, you don't want to like drive down the road that way. But I was talking to a guy that happened to at where was I was at some places I've been a million times. I can't remember where it is. Those places, Charlie.
Right.
And the road from the lot to the gate, I kid you not, it was like 1.5 miles, 2 miles.
Right.
And you had to scale on your way out. And I said, dude, so check this out. Rather than before you call on road, because you could turn around where the scale was, go scale your truck, turn around like you're gonna adjust your tandems, and check that tire and see if it inflated. And he did, and you know what? It did. And so we did the Charley rub and all that, looking for any escaping air or whatever. Yeah. It's worth a shot. Doesn't always work. Like I say, in my experience, about half the time it works. But be sure though, again, because we could get in trouble for this, I guess. Inspect that tire before you decide to do that.
Right. I'm going to throw out another tip on this situation. Tires off the bead, no visible reason for it to be flat or off the bead. A ratchet strap is your friend.
Yes.
Drive over the ratchet strap so you can get it all the way around. Ratchet that sucker down tight. What it does is it compresses the tire close into the rim. And sometimes just that little extra bit pushing it into the rim will cause the sidewalls to expand a little bit and push against the rim and the bead. And the tire inflation system can then fill the tire.
Yep.
Let's throw that out there. Just saying.
And then, do the Charley rub, looking for leaks, right? All that stuff.
But love in all the wrong place.
I actually have a request for a picture of you, Charlie.
That's hot.
That I'm going to use for a meme.
Should I take my shirt off?
Please don't. I want a picture of you hugging your tire like this.
I love my tires.
And then we'll make a meme out of that.
I like it. I'm going to do it.
The other thing we've been thinking about, Charlie, is that what's it called? That tire inflation system for the tractors that uses centrifugal force.
Yep. Can't think of the name.
We found out a little something about that too. Is that it's not 100%. So what we were thinking, and if you guys have done this, let us know. Those monitoring systems, the wireless ones, we're thinking that we could put one of the valve stem ones in the valves, right?
TPMS
and that'll monitor
system, Halo Blackbeard.
Right. The Halo system. And that would give you a real-time pressure, right? To see if that system was actually doing what it's supposed to do.
Right. Because they're not foolproof. We found out they're not foolproof, and there's quite a few instances where equipment fails. Let's just be real. It's a possibility. And you're just thinking it's great, it's fine, it's dandy. I got it on there, it's no problem. With a inside the rim or even I'm not sure how the outside would work on that. I guess. Oh yeah, we said there's little valvey sticky because there's stick points on the new system. But I would recommend the inside the rim system. They're a little more spendy, but they connect to a little display in your dash, like Bluetooth type deal, and it's pretty awesome, and it'll let you know what each tire's pressure is. And I believe it shows heat as well, which is a good indicator of what's going on.
Yeah, I priced that system for the 16, and it was going to run me right around $1,000
for the pressure monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was with the in-valve stem monitoring system, not the. Because I had this thing in my head, the ones that look like the black dice that people have on their tires.
Right.
The ones that look like that, I could just see some dude going through the TA and stealing those.
Right.
So I'd really rather have the end valve one in the stem ones myself. But yeah, it's not cheap, but I didn't think it was prohibitively expensive either. And the guys at Pittsburgh Power actually did a video on how to install them yourself, so you don't have to pay someone to do it.
Right.
All the way down to hardwiring the head unit into the dash.
Bitcoin John, what's up, buddy? He said the shop is slow in Phoenix. 5 days for a coolant leak. Second truck through the door on Tuesday morning. Ready after 1 p.m. on Saturday. I was able to point out the location leak. That sucks. I'm sorry. I feel your pain. I'm not looking forward to my B service on the 27th. Just saying. So, Trucker Tim, I'm not going to give you an answer. I don't actually have a solid answer that I can pull out of my head right now. What you should do is I would get one of those little infrared heat guns. Halfway decent one. Doesn't even have to be the greatest. Doesn't have to be the cheapest, right? You want something that is at least consistent. And do yourself a favor. Go around and figure out what your tires normally should be. Every operation is different. I'm sure someone could, super smart dude, be like 102 degrees, 0.7 every time, every tire. I think that would be false, but whatever. I can't. This is what I will say.
It'd be more than that just sitting in the yard in Phoenix.
Yeah, right. Your tires should be within a couple degrees of each other's. Like all of the drives should be within several degrees of each other. When you come off the highway and scan them, they should be within several degrees temperature of each other. Your steers should be fairly equal in temperature. Your trailer tires should be fairly equal in temperature amongst that group. Right. So look at them and figure out what your truck is doing, because conditions change, different areas of the country, different environments out there, and that sort of thing. You can't give a solid, they should be this exact temperature. But they should be equal to each other, fairly close, within a couple of degrees for each tire group. Your steers are going to be hotter than your drives. Know that. That's okay. But check the pressures. Even check your pressures when they're cold. That's the best time to check the pressures. But give yourself an idea. When you check your pressures hot, do not let air out to get down to the pressure that you want. Do not do that. Do not do that. Tire pressure.
Tire pressure should be taken with cold tires.
Preferably in the dark, in the morning, at sea level is the ideal tire checking time. All right, guys.
We live in Florida, Charlie.
I know. I did it in Oregon, just saying. We're going to start wrapping this thing up. So if you got anything hot you want us to throw up that will only take us a couple minutes, throw it up. If you're catching us on the replay, thank you guys. Yeah, we will definitely be willing to answer some questions down there in the comments if you're catching us on the replay. If we didn't get to your question here during the lives, by all means, drop them down there in the comments and we will do our best to get to those questions. What else you got, Jeff?
I got nothing, man.
I got nothing. Hey, Jimmy, I got the nuts.
I'm tired.
You know what's funny? The last 5 minutes, I got a new migraine coming in. I can feel it in my neck, and it's just right in my temple a little bit. But it's funny. So here's where this is where my migraines start. Right here, and right here, and right here. And if you draw a point from all those points, it's inside my head is where it starts, like deep in there. Anyhow, it's a cavernous place. It's probably wide open, whatever. So yeah, it's kind of a thing. I may actually have to take a shot tonight, which I'm not looking for. But I'm thinking about I may try my new ones because why not? No, I'll use my old ones first because that's a smart way to do it. Anyhow, so if you guys got stuff that we didn't get to, or you have questions, or hey, if you got an idea for a topic for our podcast, our audio podcast, go check that out over on podwheels.com. And check that out. And by the way, Labor Day is coming soon. And we have that special deal going on our private community with the mastermind type group of folks over there that we're building. $37 a month. If you lock in before Labor Day, you will keep that price for as long as you keep your account active. and valid and all that sort of stuff. After that, the price is going up to $57 a month. It is what it is. You'll never see this $37 price again, no matter what. We have made that promise, that vow. Bookmark this point. You can save it because you'll never have to call us on it. Whatever. Check that out, though. You can go to rwedrive.com if you're interested in joining that group. It is down in the show description as well on how to get over there and what that deal is. And we've got an engagement / referral contest going on where you could win yourself a handy dandy Rand McNally headset, or like the one Jeff is wearing on his head right now. And, for the amount of engagement and, referring people over here, we want to give you a little payback and a thank you for all that. We believe that the best salespeople, honestly, are the people who use the service. That's why you'll see that when Jeff and I are talking about, a product that we like, it's because we believe in the product. We love the product. We believe that it's worth every penny of it at the time, and that's what we're gonna do. And so when you guys go out, when you guys go out and tell people, "Hey, man, I love this thing," be honest and be real. Let them know.
Hey, Milwaukee Tools, why don't you send us some free stuff that we could try out?
Milwaukee, shout out. Tire inflation, the little air compressor handheld deal. We would love to review that thing and let people know. I actually really want to buy one. I just honestly haven't had the time to, do things, and I forget. I'm not going to be, I can't lie. I forget about it. And maybe you can send us one to give away. We would gladly do that as well. Just saying. You know what? I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna say it right here. If Milwaukee Tools sends us one of those devices, I would love to review it. I would love Jeff to review it. And here's what I'm gonna say, because this is gonna bum Jeff out. We're then gonna give it away.
That's fine.
Bam! Milwaukee Tools, shout out. We really want to try that little handheld tire inflator for that will do the commercial tires. Just saying, we need at least 120 pounds of pressure capability, and they got one. Just saying. Yep. Cordless, awesome. Anyhow, you guys, we're gonna do this thing. Yeah, look, Chris Hamilton said, lock it in now. It's a bargain at twice the price. Love you, brother. Road Warriors, shout out. Where's my free t-shirt or hoodie? Yeah, whatever. I love you, man. We're working on some stuff. There's a hoodie coming out that we're working on, and there's gonna be some things. Anyhow, at some point, don't hold me to that. It's coming.
All right.
Sorry, I was going back through chat, and it's funny. We're going to call this a wrap, guys. Once again, thank you for coming out and joining and taking time out of your day to spend with us in the community. We love you guys. I truly do mean that. And it means a great deal that you guys spend 2 hours with us every week doing this knucklehead stuff that we do on here. Hopefully you find some value in it. And by all means, please share this out with people that you know in the trucking industry or people that you run into. Let them know what's going on. And they can watch Jeff cough just like that, because I think that's hot and it's great. That's good entertainment value all by itself, because he makes the greatest faces. Anyhow, we will see you right here like every week, 6 p.m. Okay, there was a couple weeks where it wasn't Tuesday at 6 p.m. Whatever. We typically are here 6 p.m. Tuesdays Eastern time on the live here. And don't forget to check out some of the recorded stuff. We got little shorts and reels and all that other stuff. And I think I'm going to throw up my little video about mental health, which I think is important. So share that out, guys, because I know there's a lot of people out there that could probably benefit just from hearing it. Sometimes we just need to hear it. And take care of yourselves. No one out here looking after us but us. And we'll see you guys soon. Be safe.